Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to cut and sew this stylish midi-length gown with puff sleeves and an open back tie. So if you love to recreate this look, let's get started. The first I'm going to do now is to draft my pattern. So I went ahead to prep this. I have my shoulder line, the next my bust line, after that my under bust, then my half length and my allowance line. Going over to our shoulder line, we divide our shoulder measurement by 2. Your shoulder measurement is being divided by 2. So I'm dividing my shoulder measurement by 2 and make a mark at that point. I do get my chest line by adding 1 inch to the division of my shoulder measurement. So I'm getting my chest line right now. After making points, I'm going to use my pattern master to make a straight line. So you can use a ruler to also make a straight line. So that's how you get your chest line. After you make a line, you're going to label it CH. That's abbreviation for chest line. On this my chest line, I'm going to also mark the division of my shoulder measurement on that chest line. Then I'll connect the point on my shoulder line and this new point on my chest line. So what I'm creating right now is my armhole line. Okay. So after doing that, I'm just go down by 1 inch for that point. Now from this point to my chest line, I'm going to get the midpoint, make a mark at there, go in by half of an inch. Now use my pattern master to create a curve. From the 1 inch I went down by to the half inch I went in by all the way to my chest line. So this is how you can create your armhole curve. Now for my neckline, I'm working with 3 by 3. Use my pattern master to create my neckline. After doing this, I'm going to connect it to my armhole line. This is how I can create my shoulder slope. So say from my neckline to that 1 inch I went down by. This is how to create your shoulder slope. So now that's done. Next, I'm going to divide my nipple to nipple measurement by 2. That I'm going to mark my nipple to nipple measurement, on my allowance to my bust line. Next, I want to get the midpoint of my shoulder slope. After getting the midpoint, I will make a mark. That's to know where the new point is. Next, I'm going to use my pattern master to connect them from my midpoint to my shoulder slope all the way to my nipple to nipple measurement on my bust line, then to my allowance line. So do yours as you see me do mine. Almost done with the drafting of this pattern. Next one to do now is to locate that. So I'm kind of doing this like it's a pad, like a bustier. I'm trying to make those as this not a bustier. So I'm going to mark 0.75 at both sides of my dart legs. Then I'm going to connect them. Now on my underbust line, I'll go up by 1.5. Make a point. Use my pattern master to create curves. And that's done. So next I want to do now is to go up on my chest line. Like you know how many cleavage you want to show you. So I try to go by 1.5. You can go by 2, you can go by 1.5. It just depends on how you want your chest area to look like. So this is just all. Next I'm going to do now is just to put our body measurement and replace our that. You're going to divide your bust by 4, make a mark there. Divide your underbust by 4, make a mark there. Divide your allowance or half length by 4 and make a line, a mark there. Now, that's exactly what I'm just doing now. I'm dividing my underbust by 4. After dividing my underbust by 4, I will replace the dart. And don't forget to also add your extra 2-inch allowance. So this is how it looks like. I've applied my body measurement and we also replaced the dart. That's the line I have. Now what I'm just doing next is to add that extra 2-inch allowance. After doing that, use my pattern master to connect them. So that's it. Next I want to do now is that I'm taking my side that the half length of your front and the half length of your back are different. You need to subtract it. So I'm minus 1.5 to get the half length of my back. So that is just it. So now time for us to just cut this out. So this part I'm marking X is the part that I won't be needing. So now our underbust, it has a curve. So that's the curve I want to create now. So from this point, you see me, I'm marking 1.5 and I'm placing my pattern master this way, and I'm just going to create the curve. You see me? I'm creating my curve this way. So like this, I've gotten the curve that the dress has as at the underbust line. So this is how underbust area is going to look like. So actually done with all this. Next, I want to do now is just to cut this out. After cutting it round this way, next I want to separate my the upper part of my that's for my underbust bust line chest. I want to separate it out of my half length and allowance. So I'm cutting through the underbust line straight into the curve that I have. Now before that, I want to close this side dart. So I forgot to close my side dart. That's what I'm doing now. You first close your side dart before you cut through that opening. That's through the line at our underbust line. So I'm closing off my side dart right now. I'm going to use my sellotape to hold that down. Now I'm going to, you see this curve now, I'm going to align the curve now to be touching each other because immediately I close this side dart, my curve is no longer the same. It's no longer aligning with the other parts. So now I'm going to use my pattern master to align that curve back to how it's supposed to be. Then I can cut through it. So right now I'm just cutting to exactly my body measurement. I didn't do that because I'm going to close my side that I don't want anything to short. So I'm taking away this part. We're not going to be using that part anymore. This is the main piece we're working with. Then I'll continue cutting through. You don't forget, I'm going to make that my line align. See the way I'm cutting through mine? Exactly. So this is how it should be. It is how yours should be like. Now for this part, I want to now take away the dart I took. So I'm really going to fold it up and use my sellotape to hold it down. So I've taken away the dart of my, let me call this the belt area. I can call it. So I'm going to now use my tape to tape it down. So that's just all for the drafting of our songs. Now for the back, I placed my pattern paper and I marked my shoulder line, my my chest line, sorry, and my half length line, and of course my allowance line. The back doesn't have a boss. It doesn't have a boss. I don't need the boss line. It doesn't have an underboss. I don't need the underboss line. I also went ahead to mark my 2-inch allowance for my zipper part. So what I want to do next is that I want to mark my division of my shoulder measurement on my chest line, mark the division of my shoulder measurement on my chest line, connect the shoulder measurement on my shoulder line and the shoulder measurement on my chest line with my pattern master, go down by 1 inch, get the midpoint from that 1 inch to my chest line, make a point and go in by half inch. Then I will create my armhole curve. That's just it. Now for my neckline, I'm going to work with 3-inch by 1.5. Using my pattern master, I'm going to make my shoulder slope. That's from that 3-inch. I went at my chest and my shoulder line. Sorry, that's how I created my shoulder slope. Now, what I'm doing now, I'm now creating my neck line. connect the line all the way to my zipper allowance. So that's just it. Next thing I want to do now, I want to divide our nipple to nipple measurements, make a division of our shoulder slope, and then connect the points. That's it. Next, on our half length line, I be on our allowance line, anyone you want, I'm going to mark 0.7 at both sides, and I'll connect it all the way to my chest line. That's it. So what I want to do now is that I went up by 1.5 on my chest line for the front, and I'm doing the same now for this back part. I'm going to connect those lines. Good. So after doing that, next I want to do now is to I'm adding a little bit of extra allowance on my armhole. So I did that for the front. I added like 0. It didn't reach half inch. But let's say a quarter of an inch on my armhole line part. So now from this part, now I want to create a slanted line to meet my zipper part. This is what I'm doing now. This just is the back because I don't want the back to end up being too high. After doing that, I'm now going to put my body measurement. Divide your bust by 4. Divide your waist by 4. Don't forget to replace the dart you took and also add your extra 2-inch allowance. So after cutting it, this is what I have. Next I want to do now is to seal up my dart. So see the way I'm closing up mine and close up yours this way. After folding up like this, I'm going to use my sellotape to tape this down. So that's just all for the drafting of our pattern. What we want to work on next is with our fabric. Now for this tutorial, I'm working with 3 yards. You can use 3 yards or 4 yards of your fabric. I'm working with Ankara fabric. So here I went ahead to cut this part of my front. After doing that, now for the upper part of this front, like no, I've to split it into two. We have the down part and the up part. I've cut this part. Now for this other part that I say right now, we're still going to cut it later on. So now how you cut it is this: you pick up your fabric like this. See the way I folded it. You fold yours this way. Now I'm using my chalk to trace out what I have on my pattern paper. Now this fabric is folded into two. It's not folded once, it's folded into two. I have extra fabric at the upper, that's at the neckline of this. I have extra fabric up. The reason for this is because I'm going to have an elastic that I'm going to pass through this chest area. You might not get what I'm saying now, but first of all, trace yours this way you see me tracing mine. Okay, that's done. I'm just trying to make the trace more visible. After doing that, I'm going to use my tape to get the exact measurements I have. I'm going to mark it. You can see marking that I have something like I have a straight line. After doing that, I will connect the points. So now that's done. Next is that I want to add extra allowance for our elastic. There's going to be an elastic at the upper part of this. This waist use this our neckline. This is our new neckline now. We're going to have an elastic at that point. So I'm marking 1.5. I'm going to serve as the allowance for my elastic. So I'm going to connect this again in a straight line. And that's done. Next I'll do now is to cut this out. So after cutting it out, this is what I have. I'm just separating the two pieces. So this is just it. So I'm going to make create a notch at this part. This so I will know exactly where my allowance starts from. That's my elastic allowance starts from. So I'm going to join this part. I'm going to join it up. Mhm. Now this is just it. This is how we will cut this. So next is that on all these parts we cut, we're going to put lining on apart from this part that has elastic. So this is my back piece. I've turned it over with my lining, and this is just how it's looking like. I'll take that aside. For this part, I've already joined it up. Then I added extra, sorry, then I folded up this part that my elastic is going to pass through it. Now, I also went ahead to turn this part up with my lining. So let's this how is this going to go. I'm going to gather this piece to join it to, let me call this other part the band, to join it to that band there. And I also pass my elastic through the part that I kept allowance for my elastic. So yours should be like this. You should have something like this after you're done joining the up piece to this. It should look exactly like this. The next thing I want to do now is this, the down part is a flea. So I went ahead to cut out my flea, though I'll show you how I got this flea. So I'm going to use this pattern paper. So I'm going to fold it this way, like the right hand pattern paper is open up, Abby. So now we have by length and we have that's by yards. Now how you measure by yards, we have how we measure by yards. That is this right now. And the next one is the length. So you know Ankara is by 45. We have the length and we have how you measure. So we have by our yards and we have by the length. Length is Ankara length is by 45, and by yards we have 1 yard, 2 yards, 3 yards. Just that's what I mean. So I'm going to fold it this way. So I'm kind of like folding it by like all your yes by the yards. I'm folding it into two like this. After doing that, I'm going to now fold it again this way. Make sure they're all equal to equal. And next I'll fold it this way. Now if you notice at this part I left some allowance. This allowance is our zipper allowance. I gave our zipper allowance. That's in zipper allowance we gave for the this thing. We're going to for the up part of our back. We're going to give the same zipper allowance for this part. So next we want to do now is that we want to get our waist measurement and our full length measurements. And see I'm labeling front and the back so you will not get confused. So now, forget about this back part. Now, we're only going to work with the front part of this. We're going to measure our waist plus our extra 2-inch allowance. So that is this point I just measured now. Next, we're going to get the length we want this flare to be. Don't forget to minus yourself. How you get the length is that imagine your half length is 17. You minus that 17, then you get the length of your gown. That's the full length of your gown. Then I'll connect it this way. After doing that, I'm going to use my scissors to just cut it out, cut the other side out. And I also cut out the waist area. Next is I want to separate the front from the back. So see the way I'm separating it and separate yours like this too. And that's just it. That's how to draft the pattern for the making of this. So that's how to cut it out exactly on your skirt, on your fabric. You don't need to draft pattern for this pin out. So this is just this how I made my flip for this skirt area. So that's how to do now. I'm going to use my lining to turn off my fillet right now. So I can now start attaching it to the half length of my to the up part of my dress. Don't forget after you turn it up like me, I've turned up mine. You iron it too. Iron will make it look more neat and nice. Now for this part right now, I'm going to place my tape on the underbust line. So my underbust is whatever underbust is, you place it on the joining, then you mark your half length. So I'm doing this to get exactly my half length line. From your underbust, you can locate exactly half length line. So I now know my allowance that I have. That's the allowance I kept for joining my up piece and the skirt area. That's my up piece and the skirt piece. So I'm going to connect it like this using my chalk. Don't forget, I forgot to mention, when you're cutting your skirt part, don't forget to add extra allowance to the length of your skirt. That's for adding for your joining of your lining, and also for attaching it to your skirt area, to your up part of this, sorry. So now time for my sleeves. So I bought half yards of black for the sleeve. I'm going to fold this into two like this. Then I will get a desired length of my sleeve. Don't forget to also add extra allowance for your elastic, because we're going to pass our elastic through this. So this is the back part of my dress. I went ahead to join it and also attached my zipper to this. So this is just how it's looking like. So next thing I want to do now is to attach our sleeves to this. So look at my sleeve now. I've added my passed through my elastic to the upper part of this sleeve. I'm just trying to show you how it's going to look like. So this is our sleeve, midway sleeve. So now the elastic I used is I use is 8 inch for my elastic. That's 8 inch what I passed through here. So just all this 8 inch depends on your body size. I'm working with 8 inch right now. See the way I'm attaching my sleeve to my dress. So you attach your sleeve this way. So another way to do this, like to know exactly where you're going to attach your sleeve, you can go ahead from your zipper part to mark out that from your armhole, sorry, mark out that extra allowance you added to the armhole part. You can do that too. So this is where I'm attaching my sleeve. See where I'm placing it. I'm placing it this way. I'll use my pin to hold it down. So this is exactly how you can attach your sleeve without any complications. So after doing that, I'm going to pass. Don't forget, I also pass my elastic through the down part of my sleeve. I only pass the elastic through the upper, my upper sleeve. I still have to pass my elastic through my lower sleeves. So this is just how it's looking like right now. So we're almost done with this tutorial. The only thing we need to do now is to mark our allowance. Sorry, mark our body measurements, not our allowance. Mark our body measurements, then shape this according to our body measurements. Now for the open back tie, that open back tie, I don't have a video of that part, but that's very easy. The only thing, that open back tie is just a band that I cut, a turned up band. Then I attach it to my hand, this hand right now. I attach it to my hand, the part that's going to be at the back of my dress. So you can do it when you're a client or when you're wearing the dress. You just from your back, you just mark out the part you want your tie. That's the band to be. And that's just the tie. So when you just attach it here, you just tie the band according to how you want it to be. I don't on your sleeve when you wear your dress, you're going to just at the back, the back part of your sleeve, you just know which part you want this elastic to be. Then you make a mark at that side. Later on, you go ahead, you can use your needle and try to tack that band to your sleeve. So what I'm doing right now is I divided my waist measurement by 4. I made a mark. My bust measurement by 4, and I made a mark. So I want to attach a pocket to this dress. It's just my preference. So you're going to keep a gap you want your pocket to be. So I normally use 7 inch for my pockets. Now this all depends. So if you want a pocket, you make allowance for your pocket to sit in, for your pocket to sit in. If you don't want a pocket, just go ahead now to just um keep on marking. You can now use extra, you can now use 2 inch to just mark as your allowance to shape this whole clothes. That's for the skirt area because it's a flay, it's not body fitted. So that's just all. After doing this now, your clothes is ready to be worn, sorry. And this is the outcome of this whole tutorial. This is the clothes I made. I hope you found this tutorial helpful in the making of your own dress. So if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for watching.